Hi, this is Mark Moneypenny, and this is my Module 5 presentation. Starting off with the articles we had to read with the barriers of using Web 2.0. School systems have an increased number of technology resources and access to technology, but the quality has not seemed to improve over the past few years. And with the added computer access, test scores have not been on the rise as of late. And there's a lack of training due to budget cuts, and also with the technical support is no longer available in a lot of school districts. And along with the lack of technical support, there's a high level of administrators not giving the necessary support to their teachers. With the 7 Common Barriers article, it took education budget cuts for the education field to look at technology in order to save money. The students who come from different socioeconomic backgrounds have found there is to be a drastic difference in the results when integrating technology into learning. The poorer neighborhoods are using computers for drills and not for creative or deeper learning activities. The digital divide. Digital divide is not a matter of location of where you live. A reason for the quarter of the Americans without broadband is because they cannot afford it. Both the past presidencies said they were going to change broadband communications, but as of yet, they have not developed a plan to do so. At some schools where the students can take the computers home, the learning stops once they leave the schools due to the fact that they do not have internet access at home. And the cable companies seem to have the legislators in their back pockets, convincing them to outlaw towns from building their own servers. On the Open Ed resources movement, Open Ed serves K through 12 education, trying to offer a way out from dealing with commercial publishers. There are skeptics who wonder if remade materials can equal the quality of commercial publishers can offer. The Open Ed resources materials are for the purpose of teaching and learning, which are in the public domain or have been released from licensure, which allows them to be used freely. And this would include like single videos, lesson plans, and also a complete online course curriculum. There are some educators who are getting frustrated with the Pinterest way of searching for lessons. It was also noted that the cost is the last thing the education thinks about. Their goal is to give good education for all the students. The questions that need to be answered: do you feel the divide can be resolved? And honestly, I do not think it can be resolved in the near or the distant future. One reason is the government is too busy looking out for themselves and not doing what they promised to do once they got into the office. Even with the president promising a $1 trillion infrastructure, there has still been nothing done about it, and I don't feel there will be anything done in the near future. Because of the government will not come up with a consensus on exactly what should be done, nothing is going to be done. And the major industries have their hands in the pockets of politicians, swaying them to vote in a certain way. And we have too many companies who are looking out for themselves and not thinking about what is right for all the people around them. The next question: what skill sets do you feel the 21st century students must acquire prior to graduation? The problem solving, creativity, logical thinking, collaboration, communication, ethics, and accountability. I feel these skill sets will be setting themselves up for success. Students are going to have to be able to problem solve due to the fact technology is an ever-growing thing. Students are going to have to be creative and need to open up their minds to be able to see what they can do out there in the world. And with logical thinking, they're going to have to be able to stop and think before they act. Collaboration is a valuable thing for students are going to have to do. The students will need to have good communication skills if they're going to be able to talk with one another. Ethics is another key factor. Students need to know the difference between right and wrong. And that is not always an easy thing for them to do. They all need to try to stay away from the bad influences. And lastly, accountability. Students need to be held accountable for their actions. And there are too many students out there right now who are not holding themselves accountable. And what impact has the global economy had on your personal use of the internet? Where our internet provider used to be a more cost-effective provider, but it had amazingly slow speeds. So we made the decision to go with a cut back on spending and go with a higher cost, more fast speed internet. With the rates going up, we were having to cut back on some certain things. Our cell phones, for example, we just purchased them and we had to go back on our data plan. We use a Wi-Fi basically at school and at work. At school, my wife uses it at work, and we use it at home. So we limit our data on our phones as much as possible. What technology training do you still need to effectively integrate technology in your current position? And unfortunately, I need a large amount. In my position. The catch is I don't have a lot in my budget to be able to purchase a lot, and the school district is not willing to invest in the non-classroom teacher. I need to be able to attend more trainings on what the latest technology is, and I need to get some further training on the correct way to write some grants so I'm able to receive the money. Is your school district equipped with the 21st century technology? And my school district is, for years, been staying up to date on all of that, all the current technology trends. The school district vision statement is preparing today's students for tomorrow's world, and they are doing a good job of making sure teachers are getting the proper ways to incorporate the technology into their lessons. And I can't speak for a lot of the schools, but our school has now purchased 4 3D printers and are installing smart walls to stay up to date. Classroom teachers are incorporating technology into everything they do to make students feel more comfortable with technology. The 5th grade spends a lot of time coding, and they are really enjoying doing that. And the district has purchased the rights to allow the students to go, the schools to go online and visit other sites where books can't possibly take them. What are the advantages of innovative practices in schools? And it makes learning a lot more interesting and engaging. It allows for faster and more effective delivery of lessons. It reduces the need for textbooks or other printed materials. It is easier for collaboration among teachers, and it helps build technology-based skills, allowing students to learn early. What disadvantages of innovative practices are in schools? There's insufficient methods of teaching. Many teachers are not properly trained in the proper implementation. Transforming learners into inefficient learners. Computers are making them inattentive in class. They feel like they can skip school more often. They're getting poor study habits. Their math skills are going down. They're not working the problems all the way through. They're being misguided. Certain website owners are just ranking their websites higher and not worried about the content of their websites. They're a major source of distractions. Students are able to be off task, browsing things during class instead of listening to the teacher. And there's an increase of cyberbullying. This is just an easier way without actually having to go one-on-one with the person. They're able to hide behind a computer screen. And there's a disconnect from the real world recently, education with the technology. the way the educators are teaching students is not by verbal, and this is making the student unable to interact with the teachers. And there is a lack of handwriting with technology devices stopping students from writing. The quality of writing is really being sacrificed. And the last question, have you experienced problems with cyberbullying or other inappropriate internet uses with students? And I've had to experience breaking up fights when I taught at the high school due to cyberbullying, becoming face-to-face confrontations. And it wasn't even the person doing the actual bullying. It was two of the boyfriends defending their girlfriends, and the boys ended up getting in trouble for fighting, and the girl doing the bullying got off with no punishment. And when I was covering classes while I was at the high school, as I was walking around the room, I witnessed a lot of students on inappropriate websites, and I had to go over and do the disciplinary action with them. Thank you, and have a great evening.